tuned in to your dose of positivity. I am Marlene Motivates, and as I always say, just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
And to get further support, join my channel membership. Hey everybody, welcome. I am Marlene Motivates, your channel for all things positive, motivational, encouragement, and life lessons. If you have not subscribed to this channel already, I would love for you to subscribe to this channel, and you're welcome here in the Motivators family. So I'm going to see who is in the chat. And in the chat, we have Miss B, Make This Go Viral LLC. Welcome. How are you, Miss B? Good to see you. Happy Tuesday to you. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, James Money. Welcome. How are you doing? I'm doing good. Thank you so much, Miss B. I hope you are as well. So, everybody, you can see by the little banner at the bottom here what we're talking about. If you don't love yourself, don't expect others to. Okay, I can't wait to get into this topic because this is a topic that is near and dear to my heart. I hope you guys can hear me. I hope the volume is good. So we're going to get into this. If you don't love yourself, don't expect others to. All right. And first, we got to start off by talking about love. Love is a deep affection for. And when we think about the word love, do we see ourselves in that? And I do believe that it's something learned. It is something learned to think of ourselves when we think about love. You are an important person, you're an important individual, and you deserve to love yourself. Puzzle Pieces, hi, welcome. Happy Tuesday. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. We got a member in the house. Thank you so much for your support. It's so important for us to develop that self-love. Self-love, love for one means love for oneself. It means regard for our own happiness or our own advantage. It's self-appreciation too. It's another route to our self-awareness, tapping into who we are, what we want. All of that is a deep part of love. and we have to discuss how we can love ourselves more. I think that this is a very important topic to talk about, and we can't talk about, self love and loving ourselves if we don't talk about self appreciation, because self appreciation, it starts with acknowledging ourselves, and having gratitude, a gratitude journal, acknowledging our own strengths, our own achievements, and validating oneself. I believe a lot of times that is the problem, and the issue that a lot of people have is they're waiting for other people to show them appreciation. They're waiting for other people to acknowledge them, to see them, to they're waiting for other people to have gratitude for them. They're waiting for other people to acknowledge all the amazing things that you may have done in your life. But it's about the validation that we should have for ourselves. Hey, Miss Queen Sunkiss, how are you? Welcome. Happy Tuesday. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. I think it's so important for us to validate ourselves. That's so important. It's vital for how our entire life will go. If we constantly wait for other people to validate us, to see us, to acknowledge us, to tell us we're doing amazing, to show gratitude for us, and what if other people never see us, never validate us, never care for us? Are we going to go through our whole life empty, or are we going to give ourselves that gift? And it is a gift. Self love is a gift that keeps on giving. It's something that it changes, from the time you're a child to your tween, your teenage, your adulthood, all the way on up. Self love continuously changes because each of us needs different things at different times. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Happy Tuesday to you as well. Thank you so much, Miss Queen. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for being here as well. And everybody who is in the chat, or if you're watching on the replay, I would appreciate a thumbs up. It's very good for my analytics, and it shows that you support me as the host. And I thank you for that in advance. So, everybody, let's get into this topic. I'm going to put up my first bullet point. Um, okay, if you don't love yourself, don't expect others to. That's the topic today. And the first point is, stop expecting everyone to think like you. It's something that a lot of people, they can't get past it. That if somebody has different opinions, someone has different values, expectations than we do, we automatically kind of push people aside. Everybody is different. Everybody has a different route, a different journey. People are going through different things. We cannot expect other people to be like us and to have the same opinions and to have the same thoughts like we do. So stop expecting everyone to think like you do. There's no way that everybody that we come across is going to think the same way. People have different values, different opinions, different upbringing, cultures, different personalities. There's no way that we're going to get other people to think the same like we do. We have to let others be themselves. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. Anything that is different from them, they dislike it, and they actually think that people hate them. Well, no, people have a different life, different personality. They've been through different journeys and than we have. So stop expecting people to think like we do. You'll wear yourself out and you will get nowhere. You'll just frustrate yourself. That's what I find all the time, that people, if you don't agree with them, if there's any disagreements between the two of you, other people don't like it. They get upset, they get frustrated, and they feel that they have to change them to make them think like they do. And that's not what being an adult is about. Adult being an adult is about accepting other people. And it does take maturity. You may not always like what other people do, but it's not about liking what somebody else does, but it's always something that you can learn from another person if you're mature enough to see it, to be that. We have to look at another person and look at the good qualities about another person. Look the talents that another person has. But we can't expect everyone to have the same thinking, the same thoughts as we do, the same values. You'll drive yourself crazy, you'll get frustrated, you'll get into arguments where it's impossible. Everybody is different. Everybody likes different things. So don't expect, our thoughts to be the same as others. Let other people have their own life. Let other people have their own opinions. And like I always say, what another person's opinion is theirs. It doesn't mean that our opinion is invalid. It doesn't mean that. But there's a lot of people out there that they don't know how to let another person be themselves. And that's why I always say, like in my channel song, just be yourself. You will survive. You'll be okay if you can just step into being yourself and loving yourself how you are. And I found that the more that I got into loving myself more, is the more that I can allow other people to be themselves. I don't know what is true of you all, but the more that you allow people to the freedom to be their own person is the more that we can be ourselves as well. Acceptance is so important. Not that you agree with other people's opinions. You may not agree, you may not like it, but we can if we open our eyes and we allow people the freedom to just be who they are, most of the time others will allow us to be ourselves as well. But the whole thing is that there's always judgments. One is always judging the other. So we have to let those things go. And we have to learn to love ourselves. If you don't love yourself, you cannot expect another person to fill in what you don't do. There's certain things that we have to do for ourselves. Okay, Miss B, be safe. There's some things that we have to do for ourselves. We have to get into a position. We have to take ownership of our own life and be accountable. If we're not loving ourselves like we should, we need to ask ourselves why. Why am I not loving myself? Is it because I'm expecting other people to love me? I know I was in that space for a long time, waiting for other people to love me, waiting for other people to do what is my own responsibility. It's our own personal responsibility for how we think about ourselves, for our self-awareness, for our self-appreciation, for our self-love. All of that is our job. It's nobody else's job to love us but us. If other people love us, that's wonderful. It's amazing to have other people to love us. We all want that. But we can't feel less valued because other people aren't giving us love that we want. We have to give ourselves that gift to ourselves. That's why I always talk about friendship with yourself. When you work on that personal relationship with yourself, when you're filling up your own cup with what you want, with what you need, you got to learn to be okay with yourself instead of waiting for other people to make you okay. That's what a lot of people, where they fail. They sit their whole life and they're seeking love through relationships, through family, through friends, through what they have monetarily, but they're not pulling inwardly what they think about themselves. Hey, Word, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome. We got a member in the house. Thank you so much for your support, Word. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, so let's stop expecting other people to think like us. You're going to drive yourself crazy, and it won't happen. It won't happen because every single person is unique. Every single person is their own individual, and no two people are going to think exactly alike. And the thing is that a lot of people, they want to change. They want to change other people. That if you don't think like I do, then something is wrong, and they try to dissect another person and try to find out why they think that way. When we just need to move forward more towards allowing people to be who they are and accepting that. I'm going to let you be you, and you let me be me, and then we meet in the middle. This is what I come to the table with, this is what you come to the table with, and I respect you and you respect me. I think that that's a more mature status to have. It's a great place to be in your life as a grown adult, whereas when we were younger, we only would like the people who were just like us, like a rubber stamp, and that's impossible. You're not going to find everybody to have our same thoughts or agree on the same things. It doesn't mean that we can't come together, as adults and say, this is my opinion, this is yours. Oh, I never thought about it that way. And then you may not agree with it, but you say, that's okay. I learned a new way of thinking. And that's maturity, and it's personal growth. Hey, Sirius, how are you? Got a mod in the house. Uh, when you get a chance. Check IG. Oh, okay. I thought that was for me. Well, thank you all so much for being here. I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you so much, everybody, for your support. We're getting into point number 2. If you don't love yourself, don't expect others to. So, love others without expecting them to fill a void. Love others without expecting them to fill a void. Just because we love other people, they can't fill in what we haven't fixed within ourselves. We can't expect another individual to fill a space in ourselves that we haven't fixed, that we haven't worked on, that we haven't healed. We can't expect that. We're going to be disappointed, unfortunately, because others' way of loving you shouldn't be or take away from the love that we have for ourselves. I think that that's so important to get that. Um, it's so important to get that. Hey, Lisa, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Got another moderator in the house. Um, Puzzle Pieces says, I came to the realization years ago that I love myself too much to waste my energy waiting or expecting others to love me as much as I do. Yeah, it's a good realization to come to, that a lot of people don't ever come to that realization. They spend their whole life waiting for other people to love them, but they never come to the point where they actually love themselves. Self love is key to so many things in your life, and you can't wait. You can't wait and expect others to fill up some parts and some pieces inside of ourself. They other people may never give it to us because there's some people who actually don't love themselves, so they have no idea how to love you. So, I spent a long time waiting for, family members and friends to give me and fill in those spaces inside of me, where if a person does not love themselves, they may not know how to love you. It's not always intentional. Maybe sometimes if a person has some mental illness, some narcissistic personality, we can't change that part. But what we can do is say that, I don't expect another person to fill up me. I have to fill up my own self. I have to fill in anything that I don't like. If something we don't like in ourselves, if there's some hurt, some pain, some healing that needs to take place within ourselves, we need to do the hard work and fix that. That's going into the inner work. So it doesn't take away from the love that we have for ourselves when others don't love us the way that they should. Um, that's why it's vital to know self love. It's so vital to know that self love. And this is something I feel like it's important. I feel like it's a message that everyone needs to hear and someone needs to get. You have to be whole all on your own. You have to be whole on your own. And I see it a lot of times. People jump and hop from relationship to relationship, romantic relationship, because they're waiting for a romantic relationship to fill up a void that they have not filled for themselves. We have to introduce our own self to self-love. We have to know and love ourselves. If we don't know and love ourselves, we can't wait for another person's love to be the reflection of who we are. Um, it took me a long time to evaluate that and to let that stick in my mind, regardless of what relationship I'm in, regardless of friendships, regardless of family, regardless of what other people are doing to me. It does not take away from who I am as a woman. It does not take away from who you are as a person, as a human being. We have to fill up our own love for ourselves. Nobody can't do that for you. You have to want to love yourself. You can't wait for other people to fulfill that love inside of you. It's wonderful if you get the opportunity, if you find someone that will give you, that's an addition. That's a bonus, but that's not the complete fulfillment of who you are. Another person loving you is a bonus, but we gotta love our own self. I think that that's vital, very important, and it's a part of our peace too. That we have to make certain decisions to love ourselves, and if we don't do that for ourselves, who is going to do that? Who is going to love you like you love yourself? Nobody. And that's why I said, if you don't love yourself, don't expect others to. It's a personal thing. We have to personally be invested in our own self. So I say to all of you motivators, make a personal investment in yourself. Make an investment to, go inside of yourself and ask yourself the questions: how am I loving myself? How am I caring for myself? Am I treating myself the way that I should? Am I loving myself the way that is necessary, that is important, that is vital for me to feel good about myself? See, what a lot of people do, that only when other people are giving them love they feel good. You have so many, voids, so many hollow empty spaces that will be left open if you're waiting for other people to fill up those spaces, because some people don't know how to even love themselves. So how can they even love you? Other people, that's not their job, that's not their responsibility. We must love ourselves because we want to, because we desire to, because we love our own self and we know what we need. Each person knows what we need, what we desire as a human, to feel loved. We can't wait for another person to give that to us. And I see people, they hop from relationship to relationship, where when they need to stop and to pour inside of themselves and introduce themselves to, like, who am I even? What am I about? Do I even love myself before I'm trying to find and search for love on from another person? I think that that's a really deep thing. It's really deep, um, to know that there's a lot of people out there that they don't even know what love is for themselves, but they don't want to be alone. They don't want to do the inner work. They don't want to heal and fix the inside of themselves. They rather just be in a relationship and let another person maintain their love. And I hate how it sounds, but if you are waiting for other people to maintain the love you have for yourself, you will always be disappointed. You will always be hurt. You will always be let down. Because I'm telling you, there's nobody who is going to love you like you love yourself. You got to take care of you. You got to take ownership and accountability. How I love myself is my job. How I love me is my responsibility. And if I'm not being loved like I should, it's up to me to shift it and change it and pour into myself so that I can feel good about me. That's being grown. I had to learn that for myself. It was nobody's job to love me but me. And then it's what you're going to do. What you're going to do when you come to that awareness, what are you going to do with that? You know, what are you going to do? Or how are you going to treat yourself with the knowledge now that it's my job, it's my responsibility to love myself? I can't expect others to give me that. This is my job, it's my responsibility as a grown woman, as a if you're a man, as a grown man, it's my job to take care of me, to love and nurture myself, okay? And I think that you get a lot, and you do a lot with your life when you know how to love yourself. And I think that that's vital, very vital. So point number 3: don't expect others to behave as you would. Mm, mm, that's a really deep one. Don't expect others to behave as you would. We sometimes can't even control our own behaviors, much less expecting to control how another person behaves towards us. Don't expect for people to, because how you would do things, how you would act, don't expect for other people to do the same. Don't expect that. We can't control others. We can't control others' actions. Other people are going to do exactly what they want to do. And it is a control mechanism. We want to control what other people do. We want to control how other people behave, and we can't. We can't control them. We can't expect for people to behave the same way that we would. Just because we act right, we can't expect another person to act right in the same situation, because everybody thinks differently, okay? We can't control what other people do. They're going to do what they want to. How others behavior is not a reflection of ourselves. Just because another person isn't behaving right, it's not a reflection on ourselves, on who we are as a person. you know I used to look at it before as like a personal thing, like, why? Because they act right. Like, what am I doing to make them act that way? It has nothing to do with you. Another person's behavior has nothing to do with us. Don't look at it as like a mirror effect. Because they act this way, it makes I did something wrong. No. All we can expect is for people to be themselves. That's all we can expect in this life. People are going to show up and do exactly what they want, not what we want, you know. Sometimes you'll find some really true people, loyal people, who will treat you, kindly, respectfully, loyal, kind. And if you have those people in your life, make sure you show them appreciation. But you can't expect like every single person that we meet to behave the same way that we would. Um, it's unrealistic, and you set yourself up to be disappointed. You set yourself up to be angry and be frustrated when just don't expect others to behave as we would. And this is another important point, everybody. If you don't love yourself, don't expect others to. So that's the reason why we have to start with ourselves. How do we treat ourselves? Do you treat yourself well? we can't wait for other people to treat us a certain way. We train people how to treat us. We train them. And if we don't treat ourselves well, how can we expect others to treat us well? You know, we show what we want. We show what we're about. So treat yourself well. And how do we do that? Do the things that you like. Do the things that you need as a woman, as a man. You know, when you treat yourself well, you get into your personal care, your physical care. Nobody is going to treat you like you treat yourself. So it's important for us to think about how to evaluate from time to time. Am I treating myself well, or have I been slacking? Do I need to evaluate that? Nobody's going to treat you like you do. And that's why it's important for us to realize that and to say, hey, I need to do better at this and this. Because if you don't make that evaluation and start treating yourself better, other people for sure won't. People usually will treat you how they see that you treat yourself. So you can say all day that I want you to treat me this way, but if they see you treat yourself like trash, they'll say to themselves, well, you don't treat yourself good, so why should I treat you good? Everything it starts with us. It starts with our own self. We got to take ownership of our own actions. How do I treat myself well? And I had to ask myself this question too. Do I treat myself the way that I should? Do I treat myself the way that I deserve? A lot of times, how so many people were raised, they were not trained that I can treat myself nice. I can do nice things for myself. Most of us were raised to give to other people and do for other people. But when it comes to us, if we try to do something for ourselves, we'll feel guilty, we'll feel ashamed, we'll feel embarrassed, and we shouldn't. We got to treat ourselves good, because if we don't take care of ourselves, if we don't fill up our own cups, that's how we feel drained. We feel weak. We lack motivation. We feel frustrated. We get downhearted. We even may get into some sadness and ultimately some depression. We have to take care of ourselves. We cannot wait for other people to say, hey, take a break, do this, do that. We have to look at ourselves and say, I'm not taking care of myself the way that I should, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. We got to make decisions to do that for ourselves, because we love ourselves. And that's why I say all the time, why that self awareness is important. We got to look at ourselves from time to time and say, hey, I'm not doing what I need to do, and I'm going to. Okay. I need to. I need to do something for myself, because I deserve to, because I love myself, because I'm worthy and capable and able to. Okay. Don't wait for another person. Don't wait for a romantic relationship. Don't wait for a friendship. Don't wait for other family to treat us to things. If other people do, that's wonderful. But we gotta show that we respect ourselves, that we will I'm gonna take care of myself, even if other people won't. Treat yourself well, because if you don't love yourself, you can never expect another person to, because they won't. They see that you don't care. Even you can say all day long, I care about myself and I love myself. But if your actions are showing that you treat yourself like garbage, it may be the reason why you're getting the garbage treatment. Unfortunately, I had to be honest with myself about that as well. I was treated, not kindly. People were taking advantage of me. It's because I wasn't speaking up for myself. I wasn't saying no. I wasn't doing nice things for myself. I was always putting other people ahead of me. Everything was yes, yes, yes. And we have to say no to other people and say yes to ourselves. This is how we treat ourselves well. This is how we respect ourselves. This shows our courage. It shows our strength. It shows that we're not we're not going to give 100% of ourselves to other people. We have to show up for ourselves first. And then out of my abundance, when I'm done taking care of me, taking care of my needs, my wants, my desires, my goals, then I can assist and help you. See, a lot of times we do things backwards. We'll help other people do. And then when we're empty, then we're saying, oh, I didn't do anything for myself. Why? Why do that? We have to switch it around and be accountable and say, I need to stop doing for everybody before I do for myself. It's something that only we can switch and change. I know it's something that I had to do for myself too. I deserve to do great things for myself first. I deserve to make sure I take care of my personal care, that I'm eating, that I'm exercising every day before I go and start and help another person. I have to take care of me, my mental, my emotional, my spiritual, and my physical all have to be okay before I go and do for another person. People will see that. And we train people. They're watching, whether we realize it or not. We train people. When I switch that around, because before I used to just, as soon as I wake up and then I'm doing this for this person. I'm making other people breakfast. I'm doing this. I'm doing that, and I didn't even get up, take a shower, brush my teeth, you know, get myself something to eat. Go for my run, my jog, my exercise. If you don't fill up your cup first and you don't show other people this is my personal time because I care about myself and I love myself, other people are watching and they say, they put me before themselves. And you show people. So we sometimes have to go and tweak it and say, I'm really, truly giving to other people, but I'm not giving to myself. So I say to each of you, give to yourself first, fill up your cup. And when you're full up, when you start overflowing, the abundance, whatever pours out after, that is what you give to other people. See, people get it wrong that they're giving people out of their own personal cup. No, 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 you don't do that. You give after you're fulfilled, you're happy, you're at peace, you've eaten, you're taking care of yourself, you feel good, you look good. Now I can help and assist you. Mhm. It's a learning tool. This is not something that we learned in school. It's something that in our adulthood we have to rework the system and the plan for ourselves. Hey, Wellness. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Tuesday to you. Appreciate you being here. And thank you, everybody, for the likes. Yes, everybody, make sure you're treating yourself well. We can't wait for other people to tell us, treat yourself well. Take a few days off. Go and do your hair, your nails, take care of your teeth, do this, do that. Take care of yourself, everybody. And especially, I'm speaking to the parents and the caregivers. Make sure you're caring for another person. Also, make sure you're caring for yourself. Care for you so that you can be 100%, so that you can be firing on all cylinders, operating to the full capacity so that you don't snap out on, you snap out, show out on another person. We snap out on other people because we're not letting ourselves be fulfilled. You're doing too much. You have to say, no, this is my personal time. We have to train people for that. This is my time. Before I help you, I have to help myself. I had to train my family that way too. That it's okay. They may be upset, they don't like it, but they'll be okay. I got to take care of myself before I can help you. Mm-hmm. That's how you have to do it. Yes, that's what we have to do. And it's a life lesson. It's something that we have to grow into sometimes. Take care of yourself, because I'm valuable and I'm important enough and I love myself. So I'm not going to expect another person to tell me to, validate me in that way and say, you should do this and that for yourself. I have to do that for myself. I have to give my own self that gift. I'm almost to the end of my notes. I got one more point, and then I'm going to put the link in the chat for you all to share your thoughts on your self love. Okay. So spend time with yourself, everybody. Spend time with you. What are you willing to do? Hey, Realist One, got a moderator in the house. How are you doing? Good to see you. Appreciate your support. Yes, spend time with yourself. Spend time with you. Um, a lot of people don't understand that you are your own friend. You got to make some time for you. We make time for other people in our life. You make time for your job. You make time to care for work. You make time for this and that. And then the whole day will go by and you have never spent any time with yourself. So it's a decision that we have to make every day to spend time with you. Get lost in your alone time. Yeah, get lost in your alone time. Most people don't spend any time alone. And here's the sauce about that. A lot of people don't spend any time alone with themselves because they fill themselves with a crowd. Y'all listening? They fill themselves with a crowd. They like to be around a lot of people so that they can ignore the voice in their head telling them what they need to do, what they need to work on. But when you have all these people around making all this noise, it drowns out what you need to be doing for yourself. Maybe sometimes you're getting away from your purpose. Maybe you're getting away from your passion, from your life work. Because when you're involved with other people and helping another person, okay? When you're involved with helping another person, you don't have time to worry about what am I doing? What am I not doing? Okay? And I was like, wow. And I think that that's something deep. They fill themselves with a crowd to avoid confronting themselves. Mm. I know I did it. I don't know how many of you do it as well. So spend that time with yourself in your alone time, okay? In your alone time, this is where you find out what am I taking care of myself good? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do? Am I getting enough rest? Am I getting involved in my own business, taking care of me, doing what I need to do for me because I love myself? Do y'all understand how important this is? If you don't love yourself, don't expect others to. Other people aren't going to care about how you're doing emotionally, how you're doing mentally, how you're doing financially, how you're doing physically. Other people don't care about that. You have to learn to put yourself first. Spend time with you. What do I want? What do I need? Am I loving myself? Am I caring for me? Am I seeking my own friendship? See, and that's when you spend that time alone with you, not another person, not no phone on, not no electronics, just you and your thoughts in that alone time. This is where we can say, I'm doing this, I'm not doing that, and what's going on with this? We need to spend some time in silence so that we can focus on ourselves. We have to think about our own self, you know, focusing on our own self, take care of our own self. Remember, we get one us, you get one you. So I always like to check in on my own self and say, am I taking care of me the way that I deserve to be treated? Because if nobody has not told you today, you are an important human being. You're an important individual with a purpose and a plan in this life. And even if other people don't see you, care about you, regard you, listen to you, you got to do that for yourself. You have to do it for yourself. You have to make a choice to love yourself. You have to make a choice to spend time with yourself. You have to make a choice to care for you. That's nobody else's job. We got to be accountable for our own self. And if we're not happy, we're not fulfilled, we're not loving ourselves, we got to find out why and get into how to change it. If you don't like something about your life, fix it. Fix it, everybody. Fix it. It's nobody else's job but ours to fix our life. If we want to feel good about ourselves, if we want to keep loving ourselves, if we want to be fulfilled, if we want our cup to be filled up, if we want to get into our passion, our life work, it's up to us to do that. That's nobody else's job but ours. And that was a tough pill for me to swallow because I like to blame other people. That's the easy way. That's a way of escaping. Oh, it's the kids. It's the person I'm in a relationship with. It's my job. If you point fingers at everybody, we kind of, the excuses will take over, and you'll go through your life and you're not doing what you need to. You're not feeling good about yourself. You're not taking care of you. You get one you, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, making sure that you're connecting on all of those aspects so that you feel good. That's nobody else's job to say, I'm taking care of me. That's something that we got to do for ourselves. Am I taking care of myself? Am I getting into my thoughts? How are you doing mentally? Pause and think about that from time to time. Am I okay? hmm That's so important. And we'll have a mental breakdown sometimes because we just keep pushing that to the back. I'll be okay. I have to keep going. I have to keep going. No, you need to sit still sometimes. You need to take a break, take a few days off, take a vacation. Go and have some fun. You can't do for everybody and never do for yourself. It's not healthy. That's toxic. That's toxic behavior. It may be something that maybe your parents did that. Maybe other people that you know do that. But that does not mean it's good. It doesn't mean it's good. Just because other people are doing it, it doesn't mean that it's good for you. You know, this is about self-love. I'm not talking about your cousin, mama, auntie, your coworker. I'm talking about you. What do you need to feel good about yourself? And that's why that alone time is so important. It gives you time to reflect. Am I taking care of myself good? And what about that? And I definitely need to fix that. And I definitely need to remove this person from my life. Is in that quiet time where we hear no noise but our own. Our own mind is talking to us and saying, you need to do this, and you need to take care of that, and you need to do a rest. That's how we show how much we love ourselves. If you really love yourself like you say you do, you'd be willing to have that personal self-talk, that self-awareness, and to say, I gotta put myself first. I'm used to taking me time when I'm busy and forget to take that time. It takes a toll on me. Yeah, I think that's everybody. I think that's everybody forgets to from time to time. We usually are so busy helping other people and loving on other people, and we forget to love on ourselves. So I'm about to put the link in the chat here for anyone who would like to share their thoughts on how they get into their self love. You know, how do you show that you love yourself? So this is the last point, everybody. Let me put that banner up. Point number 6: get to know you. Get to know you, what you're about, what you want, what you desire. And let me tell you something. People will say all the time, oh, yeah, I know myself. But let me tell you, as you get older, the things that you wanted, you need, you desired when you were younger is not the same thing that you need presently. That's why I say reintroduce yourself to you. Um, Reintroduce yourself to a person who's more courageous, more aware, more into loving themselves, more into saying no, speaking up for yourself. Reintroduce yourself to you, the you that you are today. I'm not talking about in the past when you were vulnerable, when you were a doormat. I'm not. No, that you is gone and dead. I'm talking about the you are today. It's important for you to get to know who you are today. Reintroduce yourself to your awareness that I have good ideas, good opinions, and I deserve to have all the things that I want. And I'm willing to put in the work. I'm not going to make excuses. I'm going to put in the work and I'm going to do what it takes to have the life that I want because I love myself. See, that's personal. That's being an adult. That's being mature. That's being accountable. And a lot of people don't know how to be accountable to themselves. They're waiting for other people to do the work for them, to fulfill them, because they don't want to go inside of themselves. They don't want to feel vulnerable. They don't want to feel that pain for whatever happened to them in the past. But you got to deal with that stuff so that you can live in your present because that's what it's about, everybody. All my motivators, it's about your today. It's about your present. It's about getting to know who you are today, what love you need, what makes you feel good about yourself, not what other people think you should do, not what other people think you should be, not what you did in the past and their evaluation of what they think you should do and what they think you should be. No, I'm talking about what you want, what you need, what you need today in your present. Get into that. Get to know that part of you. And it takes a lot of courage to step into those shoes and say, I'm going to do what it takes. I'm going to do what I need for me so that I can feel good about me because I love myself. And if you don't love yourself, you can never expect another person to. Another person isn't going to give you, it's not going to tell you sit down or get up or get into your purpose or don't do that or you don't need to talk to them or I don't like how they make me feel. You got to step up and do that for yourself because a person who loves himself is willing to step up and say, that's not good or I'm not doing what I need to and I need to stop being lazy and I need to stop being making excuses. That's a grown person. That's a mature person. And I recommend y'all get into it. The more that you do what is meant to be for you, you're not holding back any of you. You're not holding back any of your gifts, your talents, your blessings, whatever you want to call it. Get into your purpose, everybody, because you deserve to. You got one you. Make sure you're loving yourself and don't wait for another person to do it because you may wait your whole life and never get anybody to love you like you would love yourself. Okay? Vital. It's real talk. Real talk. I put the link in the chat for anybody who would like to come up as a part of the show, or I love to invite those up that want to share. How do you love yourself? What helped you to develop into your own self love? How did you do that? So I'm going to do a recap of everything while I'm waiting for someone to come up. So this was the topic today. If you don't love yourself, don't expect others to. All right. So point one was stop expecting everyone to think like you. We can't expect other people to have our same ideas and thoughts because they're not us. They don't have your backstory. They don't have your life story. They don't have your personality. And we wouldn't want them to. That would be a boring life if everybody thought the same. So don't expect other people to think like you. We have to stop expecting for people to do and to say things like us because they never will. Point two, love others without expecting them to fill a void. You know, the way you love yourself is how you love yourself. Nobody's gonna love you like you do. But don't think that another person, they have to give you something in order for you to feel whole. That's something you got to do for yourself. If you feel that there's some holes and some gaps and pieces in your own self, you got to find out why. You got to heal that. You got to fix it. Another person can't fill that up. See, that's the problem in relationships, all relationships. People don't fix, they just hop and they close doors, or they leave some doors still open when they need to fix. Why did that happen? Did I let them get away with this? Did I not speak up for myself? We got to see why things happen to us instead of expecting others to fill a need that we need to fulfill ourselves. You know, don't expect another person to fill that up. Point three, don't expect others to behave as you would. Not everybody's going to have the same behaviors. You know, they're not. They're not going to have the same behavior. We can't control others' actions. We can't even control our own sometimes. Other people are going to do exactly what they like. That's for sure. One thing is for sure is people are going to act like they want to. People are going to do what they want. How others behave is not a reflection of ourselves. Just because they're not behaving like we think we should, it doesn't make us less of a person. It doesn't mean that we are not a good person. I used to do that all the time because a person would treat me a certain way. I looked at it like, what did I do to make them treat me this way? No. What another person does has nothing to do with us. Another person, they're an adult too. They have to do what they're supposed to do. They need to be responsible for themselves. We have to take ownership of what we do, okay? And nothing more. Point four, treat yourself well. We got to do that. We got to do that part. We can't expect and wait for other people to treat us well. We got to do that for ourselves. You got to treat yourself well. If you don't have high standards and expectations for yourself and what you want and get into doing it, there's nobody who's going to do it for you. You got to, and we train other people how to treat us. We train, it's a training, whether you know it or not. We train people. If people see that you treat yourself like trash, that's what they will do to you too. Mm-hmm. So do the things that you like and the things that you need so that you can feel good about yourself. Get into your personal care, your physical care, your emotional health, your mental health, your spiritual health. All is important. Remember, nobody will treat you like you do. But that's a fact. Point number 5, spend time with yourself. Okay? That's important. Get lost in your alone time. Most people don't spend time alone. And I mean, not who you're with a relationship with. I mean, your own me time, quiet, not listening to no electronics, no phone, no social media, nothing. Spend time by yourself, just thinking and reflecting on what you want and what you need to feel good about yourself so that you can feel seen and heard. Okay? Fill up your own cup. A lot of people, they fill themselves with a crowd so that they can avoid confronting their own self. Mm. They don't want to look at their own self in the mirror, so they let a lot of people be around them so that all of that noise can drown out their own noise telling, you need to get up, you need to stop being lazy, you need to stop procrastinating, you need to stop making excuses. But they don't want that. They don't want to listen to that's too hard. It's easier to be around other people and having fun and helping other people pursue their dreams, but yet your own dreams, your own life is way back there. You're helping other people, you're having fun with them, but you're not getting into your purpose and your passion. So spend some time alone with yourself so that you can ask yourself, mentally? Am I on track with my purpose, my passion, my plan? How am I treating myself? Am I treating myself well? Do I feel good about myself? Do I feel fulfilled? Or am I looking and seeking for fulfillment through other people? That's real questions, really important. And people will hop from relationship to relationship, waiting for another person to fulfill that love inside of them. Where when that person needs, you need to fill up those spaces. You need to be loving yourself, not waiting for another person to give you love, for that to be your whole, the entirety of your love for yourself. Mm-mm. That's not good. That's not good. Get into your own love for yourself. It's vital. And the last point, everybody, get to know yourself. Get to know who you are, what you want. And that's why I say reintroduce yourself to you, who you are today. The person that you are today may not be the person that you were yesterday, last week, last month, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You know, as you grow as a person, as you get more mature, as you find out what you want in your life, you need to reintroduce yourself to you. You know, maybe 5 years ago, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I needed. That's not what I would speak up for myself and say what I want. But now I'm not afraid to say I want, I need, I desire. Okay. That's how we get to know ourselves. And that's how we feel fulfilled. And that's how we are loving ourselves. You know, don't be scared to say you want and you need things and then go after it and do it. See, that's the mature part. That's the whole adult person part of you being accountable. I need to do this and I know that I'm not doing it right now, but how can I change it? And then putting in the action and being accountable to myself. I'm not gonna procrastinate. I'm not gonna hide. I'm not gonna make excuses. How my life is how I'm making it, how I'm choosing to make it. It's nobody's fault if we're not loving ourselves. If you don't feel loved, that's a personal job. That's an inside job. That's something that we must do for our own self. And we got to take ownership of that. So that's all I had here today. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I enjoyed this discussion. And I hope anybody who needs to hear this message and you're not loving yourself like you should, don't wait for another person to do that for you. You may be expecting another person to love you. They may not even love themselves. So you're waiting for them to love you. They don't love themselves, much less to love you. So get into your own self-love, your own awareness, your accountability for yourself, and do the things that you need that show that you love yourself. I'm Marlene, and I am the content creator for Marlene Motivates, and I thank y'all so much. Get into your purpose, love on yourself, do all the things that you need. There's nobody out there that is going to love you like you love yourself. Don't sit, don't wait, don't procrastinate, don't make excuses, don't be lazy. It's your life. Love the life that you have. And if you don't, do what it takes to make sure that you do. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. I appreciate everybody's support. Thank you so much. And I will see you guys tomorrow at the same time. And like I always say, every single video, story time, and live stream, just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
forgive me. I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? I forgive me. I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you?